Collie Training Journal, day 109, the unedited version of Bridging and the 31-day drill challenge with the Collie Center, day 3. I started out my practice with the 31-day challenge, and what it's supposed to be is a drill for 1 minute going each direction on the reverse triangle, which is what I'm doing. So 1 minute this direction, and then 20 push-ups and 1 minute the other direction. But I didn't have a timer to use, so I used my own counting abilities and ended up doing 2 minutes of each direction on the reverse triangle instead of just 1 minute. So if you're doing this challenge with me, which I highly encourage because of its fitness benefits, and if you're working on Collie, it also really helps with your Collie skills, I suggest using a timer or being an overachiever and doing 2 minutes like I did. Or figuring out how to count while you're also performing the drill, which can be really challenging. So I'm doing the reverse triangle in this direction first, so going left to right, and then the 20 push-ups, and then right to left. Here's one of the things that I noticed about this and my practice today, specifically with the 31-day Collie Drill Challenge. And I'm going to be honest, my power went out this morning, and so I couldn't really look up the video. It wasn't loading on YouTube, so I was just acting off of memory. So honestly, I may have been doing this incorrectly, but this side step really is helping to activate the hips and build strength in the hips. And what I noticed is that if I was standing up taller and there was less bend in my knees, it was harder to get around the triangle. But when I bent my knees and I got lower to the ground, it was easier for me to be mobile and agile and move around the triangle. So if you're doing this drill, that's something you might want to try out for yourself, is squatting down a little bit lower in your movement, bending your knees a little bit more versus standing up taller. What I also noticed in the training that I just got done with in Michigan was we did a multiple attack drill. And I noticed in the multiple attack drill that I was getting down pretty low, lower than I normally would, to be able to perform the drill, especially when I became one of the multiple attackers versus somebody that I was defending myself. So it's something good to keep in mind. You'll see just a little bit as I get closer to the end of moving from the right to left in the drill, the reverse triangle drill that I'm doing right now, that I will start getting just a little bit lower, and that's that indicator that it's making it a little bit easier for me to work around the reverse triangle. This drill was challenging for me, and it usually is. So a couple of the things that I'm focusing on while I'm doing the drill is really lifting the knee and then rotating the knee out so that the knee is pointing more horizontal at that 90 degrees versus just stepping to the side, because the drill isn't about just stepping to the side. It's about getting that rotation in and then being able to step. And this helps in a lot of different things that you do in Collie, but it's also very healthy and beneficial for your body and your body mechanics. Especially as you're aging, you want to make sure that your joints stay healthy and hydrated, and moving them, especially in these more fitness, body aware ways, such as raising the knee and rotating the hip and pointing the knee horizontal a little bit more, is really helpful and beneficial. Okay, so on to the practice that I did today. Part of my homework is really working on my striking mechanics, and that's just kind of another way of wording one of the homework assignments that I have. Really making sure that I'm paying attention to the precision in my work. This is kind of more of my own personal assignment. And then one of the assignments that I was given was to work on basically working on angles and using the 5 attacks drill to help me be able to work on those angles. So as I'm doing this drill, I first started without having anything on the ground and decided to pull out a couple of my extra sticks that I use for training to lay down on the ground to make sure I've got those angles correct. This is going to be something that you're going to see in a future drill. I just wanted to, precision is important to me also, but I wanted to run through the drill today and make sure that I remembered how to do it, but also really trying to make sure that my mechanics were correct also, especially in my footwork. The angles that you step on with your footwork is really, really important, as well as your striking angles. Today, I was really trying to primarily focus on my footwork angles. And after doing the drill, I really feel like I need to spend even more time working around the triangle to make sure that I am really moving correctly. One of the things that I noticed in the multiple attacks drill that we did last weekend was that I could not maintain my footwork. I was doing pretty much all pass-through footwork, which is basically just like stepping forward and backwards and side to side. And I wasn't really using the launching footwork, which could have been more helpful for me getting to or away from an attacker. So I have a lot of work to do on my footwork, and that's part of why I started running the stairs again, was to build the strength in my legs. Now, today I didn't run the stairs, but I'm planning on doing that again a little bit later today. Or if my power doesn't come back on soon, then, or when I recorded this, then I'll probably run over to the school and just do another 10 rounds of up and down the short stairs that I was doing before. We'll see how the morning plays out. So as I'm working through this drill, I originally started using my sticks and then realized that it will help build strength in my arms if I'm using my bolo versus just a stick. And the bolo really helps me to be able to see whether or not I've got the blade edge presentation, which is very important if you're attacking somebody, because you don't want to slap them with the side of your weapon. You want to cut them to defend and protect yourself. If you're in a situation where you're being attacked and you know somebody is trying to hurt or kill you, just injuring them is not going to stop them. So really making sure that you have that blade edge presentation is very important. Now, I'm not anticipating an attack. I don't plan on attacking anybody, and I am not doing a live blade training right now. So I am only going to be using the training weapons or training tools that I have to be practicing. But a lot of really great things that came out of today's practice, and as always, I really enjoyed it. If you haven't already, please go ahead and hit that like, subscribe, and share. And go ahead and subscribe to the channel. All of that helps me and supports me in continuing to make these videos, continuing to build my content. And if you have any suggestions or any drills that I've done in the past, any practices I've done in the past that you would like to see me do on one of these training journal days, please let me know. I would love to create that for you. It just helps me be able to deepen and improve my skills, especially when it's more on demand versus something that I'm coming up with. I appreciate you watching and providing any feedback that you have for me. Like I said, it just helps me to be able to grow and improve even more. And I would love to be able to do this on a more full-time basis. If you're in the northern Utah area and you would like to learn Kali, or you would like to come and play with me for fitness reasons or for workout reasons, to get healthier and to build the strength in your body, please drop me a comment below and let me know that you are interested. I will reach out to you and hopefully we will be able to connect. I'm definitely looking for training partners, but I love my solo practice as well, as that builds the most skill, I believe. We'll see you tomorrow.